Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 Tonight. Two Roseville businesses vandalized just a day apart. The crime was even caught on camera. We talked to the owners. Plus, Election Day is just around the corner, and tonight we're breaking down what a yes or no vote would mean for Prop 2. And the Hispanic Heritage Month coverage continues. We'll introduce you to an artist who often pairs art with her interests surrounding death and mortality. ABC10 Tonight starts now.
Two businesses were vandalized in Roseville, all while raising money for charity. ABC 10's Devin Truby tracked down the surveillance footage and hears from the owner.
Two businesses in West Roseville are feeling the Halloween spirit. Kitchen 747 and Mojo's are looking spooky. But the scary part is they were vandalized twice this weekend. It all started Friday night when a manager found two kids on the rooftop patio after closing and escorted them out.
The next morning, one of my managers found broken glass and some of our light bulbs thrown over the roof.
This all happened early Saturday morning around 3 a.m. Then Sunday around 4 a.m. they were hit again. Kitchen 747 surveillance video caught the teens on the property.
Pumpkins thrown and cracked, more broken glass, more broken string lights. Plates were thrown off of the rooftop onto the street, and then a 6-foot folding table was thrown from the roof onto our covered patio right here.
Owner Julie Hilton says it's only a few $100s in damage, but all proceeds from their pumpkin patch were going directly to charity, where a few $100s can mean a lot to a child in need.
Yeah, we're raising money for Compassion Planet. They help aged out youth foster kids.
Hilton says for the 3 years they've been in business, they've struggled with kids being loud, making a mess, and disturbing others. She says it's sad because she created this space with kids in mind, a place for them to go.
Because when I decided to open these places, I really was thinking it was going to be a great place for kids to come, hang out, safe place, after school to be. And like I said, for a lot of them it is, but for many of them, they are disrespectful to our staff, and it's the same, usually 10 to 15 to 20 kids, but they ruin it for everybody else.
She says she's also concerned that the teens could have been injured. In Roseville, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
Devin, thank you. Remember, police are still looking for whoever's behind the vandalism. So if you have any information about this, call Roseville Police. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of the brutal October terror attack on Israel. The attack sparked the war in Gaza. Across the nation today, people are holding ceremonies to honor those who were killed that day. And here in Sacramento, 2 separate events are happening to mark the occasion as people ask for peace. ABC 10's Alicia Machado is live at Cesar Chavez Plaza, where a demonstration is happening right now. Good evening, Alicia.
Yeah, Alex, this demonstration here has been going on for about half an hour now. I want you to take a look behind me where you can see dozens of people are gathered out here at Cesar Chavez Plaza. Community members gathering together for a candlelight vigil to mourn the lives that have been lost during the conflict. The event here is put on by the Sacramento Regional Coalition for Palestinian Rights. They plan to light candles tonight and also place out flowers. The group is calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Members of Jewish Voice for Peace are also out here as well. Now, in addition to the vigil here, a memorial is also being held at the state capitol tonight by the Jewish Federation of the Sacramento region. Take a listen to what attendees of both events had to say.
We're here today in grief and in outrage that this genocide is continuing after 1 year.
The war would probably come to a screeching halt if Hamas would surrender and these hostages would be returned. Israel just wants peace.
Now, the memorial at the Capitol just began. Their goal to remember the lives lost in the October 7th attack and also to raise awareness about the hostage situation abroad. Partnering organizations are also standing in solidarity with the Jewish community, including Christians United for Israel, who you just heard from moments ago. Now, we will continue to follow both of these events and have more updates for you tonight on Late News Tonight at 11. For now, reporting live in Sacramento at Cesar Chavez Plaza, Alicia Machado, ABC 10 News.
Hurricane Milton is racing across warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico and rapidly intensifying. NASA images from the International Space Station showing just how massive the storm has become.
It became a hurricane very quickly, and so not only is it a hurricane, it's already a major hurricane.
Forecasters are predicting a potentially record-breaking storm surge of 8 to 12 feet to hit the Tampa Bay area Wednesday night. This is higher than Helene's storm surge that broke records with 6 to 8 feet. ABC's Ginger Z is in Tampa.
8 to 12 feet is the kind of surge that moves homes. Single-story home, I've seen this happen before. The power of the ocean is incredible.
If they have called for your evacuation order, I beg you, I implore you to evacuate. Drowning deaths due to storm surge are 100% preventable if you leave.
Residents are doing what they can to prepare ahead of the storm. Hardware and grocery stores are overwhelmed. People scraping the last bits of sand for sandbags. Luckily, a truck arriving with a new supply.
Just in terms of preparation, you just got to do what you can early, and it is what it is, right?
Florida bracing for Milton less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene hit the same area.
This is the oddest weather predicament that there has ever been. So I can't believe that there's already another one.
Piles of debris from Helene still litter the streets. The state removing more than 500 truckloads in the last 24 hours. The governor has ordered landfills to be open around the clock to help speed cleanup.
It's going to be flying missiles. Stuff's going to be floating, flying in the air. So all the houses have debris piled up as high as you can see.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News, New York.
Let's bring in Monica because we have a lot to track here, especially when we talk about the weather impact. This is impacting a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They are still dealing with all of the cleanup here. We saw the roads. Is this a fast-moving storm? Are they going to have enough time to really evacuate the area?
Well, I think it's smart to get on the road right now, right? And it shouldn't be overlooked, too. This is going to be hitting the Yucatan Peninsula before it even moves into parts of Florida. In fact, take a look at Hurricane Milton right now. You can see the Yucatan Peninsula getting on kind of the dirty edge of that storm. A lot of rain and some terrain that just quite frankly can't handle that much rain. Then we start tracking it towards Florida, and you can see category 4-5 right now. It will decrease in intensity, it appears, as it moves towards Florida, a little bit more towards our Wednesday, early Thursday forecast, likely making landfall as a category 3 devastating hurricane. So just because it's decreasing in intensity, it's still going to provide a lot of rain, as well as a storm surge and wind as well, not to even mention some of the dangerous conditions that will be unfolding there. So we've got the hurricane warning in effect all the way through the Tampa Bay area. That stretches, by the way, into Fort Myers, that was just hit by a devastating hurricane 2 years ago. You can see the spaghetti models pretty much in alignment here to make it right through the Tampa Bay region. There's just one outlier here, but all things considered, it's very likely going to be hitting the Tampa Bay region. So here's a look at the peak storm surge. And again, storm surge most of the times is what causes so much of the damage. 12 plus feet right through the Tampa Bay area, almost into the Fort Myers area, up to 12 feet on the north and south end of that, with the potential rainfall up to 12 plus inches from that Wednesday to Thursday timeframe. A lot to watch there throughout the Gulf Coast. As far as our weather conditions, again, we have that weather impact alert through tonight with major to extreme heat risks, with our heat advisory in place until 11 o'clock tonight. Then we'll really start to see things shifting in a positive direction. We have had 7 days in October with 100 plus, or I should say 7 days above average. 5 days at 100 plus degree heat. That 100 degree temperature, that was earlier this afternoon. I think that's going to go up just a little bit for downtown Sacramento. Any way you slice it, it's been a record hot year. 50 days with highs of at least 100 degrees or above for downtown Sacramento. The previous record was 44, set back in 2022, and the average is 24. Now, most of those were hit in July, but it has been a hot and record-setting October so far. Right now in the Big Mountain backyard, we're still close to 100 in the valley. Tahoe right now at 73 degrees. Outside of Tahoe, though, still tracking areas of isolated showers and even some thunderstorms. I've had a lot of questions about these clouds that have been around the region here the past couple of days. This is at Lake Comanche. Thanks to Brian Oderig for sending that in. He said, what's those wisps coming down? Well, the bands of rain trying to make their way through the valley, trying to bring us rain right now, but it reaches that stable and hot air and just dries out. Cooling begins tomorrow. Highs will be dropping into the 90s, but until we really see a significant southwest wind, which doesn't really happen until late tomorrow through Wednesday, that's when we really start to knock those temperatures down. Then we start tracking this band of rain right here. Friday afternoon, we'll be seeing what kind of rain shower chances we'll be looking at. So what we know is we are going to see cooler temperatures, more clouds, and at least a chance for showers. We have very low confidence on the location and the totals right now. A lot to unpack later this week. Highs in the 70s tomorrow for the Sierra, finally seeing more widespread 80s and 90s through the foothills, 70s for the coast, more 90s on this map. Finally, still a couple of areas approaching 100. We'll be tracking the chance for showers late Friday through Saturday in the mountains, the foothills, and even towards the coast. All in all, highs are going to be cooling. No more weather impact alert days on tap here. We'll be tracking that slight chance for showers coming in Friday and Saturday. Look at that. Saturday, highs will be in the upper 70s, low 80s, and it looks like more seasonable temperatures will continue.
Now, Monica, that's more like it, huh?
I know. Yes, it is.
I think we're all looking forward to that, huh?
Certainly.
It deserves a round of applause.
Yes.
A few days away, though.
Right.
Monica, thank you.
The first statewide ballot question this election is Prop 2. California lawmakers are asking you to borrow and spend $10 billion on school buildings. Generally speaking, the state government picks up half the cost of construction for school buildings. This $10 billion of borrowing would go to competitive grants that public schools can apply for to build or renovate their campuses. Here's how the money would be divided. A small slice of the money, $1.5 billion, would go to community colleges. The rest to public K-12 schools, $4 billion of it for renovations, $3.3 billion for new buildings, and smaller amounts for charter and technical schools. Borrowing money this way in bonds is the government's version of taking out a home mortgage. The state would get the $10 billion right now and then pay it back over the next 35 years. It costs money to borrow money. By the time we pay back the bonds, the $10 billion of spending will cost California taxpayers a total of $17.5 billion with interest. The payments would cost $500 million a year. Prop 2 comes with no new taxes and no plan at all to raise the money to cover those payments. That means the state legislature would have to factor the payments into the budget every year. A yes vote on Prop 2 approves the $10 billion of borrowing for school construction. A no vote rejects the measure.
This November is also a rematch of California's closest congressional race of 2022, when Republican newcomer John Duarte beat out incumbent Adam Gray by less than 0.5% in the newly redrawn district. So this year, political analysts consider this one of the 9 closest races that will help determine control of the U.S. House of Representatives. ABC 10's Devin Truby sat down with both candidates as they face off for a second time.
Voters in District 13 have 2 choices for the congressional seat this coming election day: incumbent and Republican John Duarte.
Lower gas prices, lower grocery prices, drill American oil, get affordability back, get water on the farm so we have opportunity here in the Valley.
Or Democrat Adam Gray, who previously held the seat for 10 years.
Water is at the top of the list. Healthcare. I want to see Congress back to kind of mainstream American stuff.
In a predominantly agricultural district, Duarte wants to continue with legislation that will allow farmers to store groundwater.
Is do some canal extensions and some interconnects that would really create a lot of flexibility within our system and allow us to use water where it's critical that's already getting dumped out to the ocean.
Gray would like to see additional investments from the federal government.
Invest in infrastructure. We need to invest in floodplains, above ground storage, below ground storage.
Each one of these candidates had a unique message they wanted to share with the voters.
I am a pro-choice Republican. I support choice. I support women's rights. I've got a voting record that shows it. I'm rated by Heritage Foundation to be the most moderate Republican in the entire conference nationwide.
The organization Planned Parenthood says Duarte votes 21% of the time to support issues related to sexual and reproductive health and rights, a higher score than many of his California Republican colleagues. Duarte says he's also proud of his endorsement from the Central Valley Leadership Roundtable, who have never endorsed a Republican before. As for Gray, he's highlighting his endorsements from the Merced County Sheriff Vern Warnke and Stanislaus County Sheriff Jeff Dirksey, Merced County DA Nicole Silveira, who identified themselves as Republicans in a campaign ad for Gray.
I'm one of the only congressional candidates in the country endorsed by elected Republicans, and I'm proud of that, right? I've got a broad array of support from every corner of the community. That's what we need to do, is work together. And I think the American people are tired of all the fighting.
Gray has also been endorsed by San Joaquin County Sheriff Patrick Withrow. When it comes to endorsing a president, Duarte says he'll be following his party and endorsing former President Trump. Gray says he is endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris.
According to the FEC, so far, incumbent John Duarte has raised more than $3 million. Adam Gray raised more than $2.6 million. And one of the biggest races in Sacramento this election is the race for mayor. Dr. Flo Kofer and Assemblymember Kevin McCarty are both vying for your vote. So we want to know, what would you like to ask them? What do you want to see change for the better in Sacramento? Make sure you send us your questions, and we will ask the candidates. Email newstips@abc10.com.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the government's response to Hurricane Helene is stretching FEMA's budget, and it doesn't have enough to make it through hurricane season. Many people and politicians on social responded by claiming the real reason FEMA is running out of money is because it spent $1 billion housing people who are entering the U.S. illegally. Multiple Verify viewers asked us if that's really the reason FEMA is running out of money. So let's verify. Our sources are Homeland Security, FEMA, the Congressional Research Service, the Congressional Budget Office, and the White House. Homeland Security tells Verify the claims are completely false. Congress funds disaster relief and migrant assistance through 2 different programs under FEMA's control, and lawmakers don't allow the agency to transfer money between them. A Congressional Research Service report from January says during the last 4 fiscal years, Congress gave FEMA's Disaster Relief Fund $175 billion. Separately, Congress allocated roughly $1 billion for migrant assistance. The Shelter and Service Program helps distribute funds to help communities provide services to migrants, such as temporary shelter, food, and urgent medical care. And FEMA says on its website that disaster relief money has not been diverted for other non-disaster related efforts. So, no. FEMA is not running out of disaster relief funds because it spent the money to house people who entered the U.S. illegally. Any additional funding for the disaster relief program would require congressional approval. Whether you are verifying along the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego, I'm Brandon Lewis.
In the wake of Hurricane Helene, more than 200 people are dead and thousands of homes have been destroyed. Some people on social media have argued that the federal government isn't doing enough to help the survivors. Many claim FEMA is only offering $750 to Hurricane Helene victims. Others say that money is a loan that has to be paid back. Using these sources, here's what we can verify about relief aid for Hurricane Helene victims. On October 2nd, during a trip to Georgia to survey storm damage, Vice President Kamala Harris announced that the federal government had approved the governor's request for 100% reimbursement of local costs. As part of that relief, she said FEMA is providing
$750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the like, and you can apply now.
But that's not the only assistance available. The $750 payment is for immediate assistance. FEMA also provides displacement assistance, which pays for a victim's hotel or motel stay while they work on their long-term housing plan, repair and replacement assistance, rental assistance, and personal property assistance, among other things. As for claims the $750 from FEMA is a loan, that's not true either. Jacqueline Rothenberger, Public Affairs Director for FEMA, posted to X that the $750 serious needs assistance is not a loan. We do not ask for this money back, Rothenberg said. People can apply for disaster relief through disasterassistance.gov, the FEMA app, at a disaster recovery center location, or by calling the FEMA helpline. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Hi, I'm Ashley Tattersall Diaz. I am an artist, death researcher, an educator, printmaker. I'm from a little town called Pinellas Park, Florida, and I'm Puerto Rican. I grew up very Puerto Rican. I just love the pride in Puerto Rico. You do the most with what you have, and you love it. In making work about death, it was at the beginning very much about me and me understanding my mortality. I shifted a little bit from being about the personal to be about community. There was this news about a cemetery in Tampa that was discovered underneath a housing development, Zion Cemetery, this historically Black cemetery. Just to have the systemic and holistic erasure of your culture and history really impacted me. Hispanic Heritage Month means to me the opportunity to appreciate other cultures and to dig deeper into my own culture and my understanding of it.
The People's Beer Fest is happening in Oak Park this week, and it's shaping up to be a huge event, not just for Sacramento, but for all of California.
Yeah, and the Oak Park Brewing Company will be hosting the event, which promises not just to serve great beer, but to amplify and educate local brewers.
ABC10's Mark Castellan is at the Oak Park Brewing Company this morning with more. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, my mom used to say the best way to get over the Monday blues, start planning your next weekend. So start doing it right now because it is the biggest beer festival of its kind in California. Raj Little, Oak Park Brewing Company, thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. That's true. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be like a big family reunion. We get to recognize and celebrate pioneers that went before us, and we also get to hang out with new friends that we've met and other business partners that we've worked with over the year.
Yeah, let's talk about the new friends over here. So, Miss, if you would, introduce yourself to everyone.
I'm Chijindon Wichakwa. I'm all the way from Nigeria, so.
Exactly, and I thought she was studying brewing here, but truth be told, still lives in Nigeria. She just flew in for this festival this weekend, and then you go back and you study online, part of a UC Davis extension program. You won a scholarship. Your brewing career is off and running.
Oh, yes, it is.
Excited about that? What do you love about the process?
The learning, I get to learn new things and I get to apply it at my workplace. So it's amazing, learning new stuff and then making great beer.
Awesome. And over here, the director of this, sir, John Hughes, if you would, introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm John Hughes. I'm the director of food and agriculture programs with UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education. So I oversee the Master Brewers Certificate Program that Chijinju took part in. And we are offering this Tapping Potential Scholarship. This is our 4th year offering it, and we're really excited to be part of this festival.
Awesome. Well, thanks for making it happen. We're going to link all that information so future students can find you as well. Take a look at the preparations. It takes a minute. I was trying to do something socially with Raj. He said, nothing until after this festival. It takes a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. We've been working on this since early January. There's a lot of moving pieces to this event. We have our first official headliner, which will be the Nappy Roots. We have food pairing going on at Fixin's Soul Kitchen. We have a great bottle share where we're going to have beers from all across the country being showcased. A lot of them will be Black-owned beer brands that you don't know about. So, it's all about educating, creating, and having fun.
Making it available to everybody and enjoyed by everybody. Saturday is the big day. Thursday is the kickoff. Oak Park Brewing Company. Back at you.
Okay, so Mark, we said it's bringing together different brewers. How many different brewers from, around our area and also across the nation will be coming for this?
That's a good question. You can't say it's the biggest in California without throwing out some stats. How many breweries?
We're going to have over 40 beverage vendors.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's pretty big for a small brewery doing something on a small scale, so we're pretty stoked about it.
There you go. And 3 trillion gallons of beer. I just made that up, but it sounds cool. Back at
Yeah, you could swim in that many gallons of beer.
Yeah, they have the big tanks. Yeah.
Well, I could see that. And like you said earlier, one of the biggest challenges for local brewers is getting people in the doors.
Right.
So make sure you go and enjoy this weekend at Beer Fest, but also support our local businesses all year round.
Definitely.
Thanks so much for watching ABC10 Tonight. We are here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus app. You can get your news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.
Hundreds of thousands of policies canceled.
Insurance here in the state of California is dysfunctional.
People paying more for less.
I'm completely not covered for any kind of fire that happens.
The issue growing.
People can't afford to have the most valuable thing they own.
With no simple fix.
This is a long-term game. We're in the midst of the largest insurance crisis that we've lived through.
ABC10 investigates California's home insurance crisis. Watch Thursday night on To the Point with Alex Bell.